Yo, what's going on, legends? Hatchet Maniac is back at it again, and in today's video I will show you my build I've been running in season 10 with the new Hatchet, Incinerating Hatchet. It's a ranged build. We use Rending Throw, we use Infected Throw and Berserk to buff ourselves. Now it applies, as you can see, the damage is pretty crazy. This is in the Catacombs with my boys as well. This is, by the way, the best way to farm jewelry. It's a big gamba though, but anyways, we are using the Hatchet. What this does is you apply a debuff with every throwing hatchet. So you throw it 3 times. As you can see, the 3 stacks on the target right there in the middle. Not sure if you can see my cursor. And on the 4th throwing a skill or aim at throw, it explodes for 100% weapon damage. So it's like a light attack, right? Or like a throw, aim at throw. And it's also AoE. It's pretty good damage. I think this hatchet is bugged though, because it does have a perk that makes your darts deal more damage, more potency, but this combustion doesn't do any dot. It's just straight up damage, fire damage on top of that. So you have some elemental damage as well. Now, not sure. I haven't tried PvP yet with this too much. You can see it just destroys, man. It absolutely destroys. Haven't tried PvP much with this, but I'm pretty sure it will be pretty good as well. I will try it out. Now, we could probably drop Berserk if you do have Heal Empowered, which I didn't have in this footage. I didn't have the charm in my headpiece. But if you have Heal Empowered, we probably could drop Berserk because there is a 50% cap of Empower, if I'm not mistaken. And the Slash Harnessing charms do count towards that, but as well as Berserk. We could probably get Social Distancing, the Throw. There's also great perks for it. One that decreases the cooldown of the throw itself by some percent. And then also, if you have the haste from the social distancing throw, which means if you hit a target with a debuff, you have haste with the throw. And if you have it active, you have more base damage on the target. So that could be also pretty decent. And we are trying to stack as much cooldown reduction as possible for this build. So I will show you the gear in a bit, but we are running the Nibble Coat artifact with a crazy new perk on the earring that reduces your max cooldowns by up to 10% if you upgrade it to 800 gear score. So that is pretty insane. That's pretty nuts, I would say. Fast forward a little bit for some more footage. Yeah, Catacombs overall is a great source for gear, especially if you have group. Once you know what to do, where to go, I might make a guide for it as well. Then you'll get a lot of points, which means a lot of chests. That's actually pretty huge. Hope I won't die here. Running 50 con with this setup in Catacombs, 5 con in light armor is very punishing, I would say. I could still probably get away with it here. Some hits are a bit overtuned later on anyway. So each time you kill a boss, the mobs get scaled up. Especially this guy right here with the spear. If he does his little spinning attack, he does so much damage. It's actually crazy, dude. It's actually crazy. A bit disappointed with these buffs. I thought there would be some more from these power-up, these aspects in Catacombs. There's only like one good one. Gives you great chance and range stuff, whatever. But yeah. Mostly it's corrupted humanoids. I recommend coding for, I think I was using corrupted coding. Using also Great Dex as the secondary to group mobs up with Gravity Well into Maelstrom. We are running Maelstrom Charm as a perk on the weapon so that we apply Weaken on the targets. They deal less damage because everything does a lot of damage this season, I feel like. That's pretty crazy. As you can see, my boy Fame died there. Big clutch here. This Void Gauntlet guy and the Blunderbuss Elite Rare, whatever. Crazy. But yeah, Great Dex here. Another secondary, good secondary would be Spear to apply Perforate or Skewer for both Rend and the Weaken. But my boy Fame runs this, so I just run Great Dex. And also it's great for mutations. Very few people are running Great Dex, so Gravity Well is very welcome there. Even though we don't have much Rend, we have only Running Throw. I'll also show you why the perk for Running Throw on the weapon is so crazy. Your ranged attacks will deal 40% more damage if Running Throw debuff is on the target. That is just insane. Running Throw itself does a lot of damage as well, so that's pretty huge. For the rune, we are using the vines here, but I have a different one. I want to recommend this rune is a bit weird. You get stun locked, not stun locked. You just get staggered. You stand there like a dumbass if you use the rune. It's kind of weird sometimes. Not sure if it's all the time, but yeah. Oh, we got the bows in here as well. So we were running double deeps and a healer here. Let me fast forward to the boss fight. Some other rooms clear. Rifle bones. Big points. Big puntos. There's also a way to cancel animation Berserk, but it doesn't work for this build. I have another build in my mind I want to do with Mjolnir and lightning damage stacking with a specific infix on the Hatchet, Critical Storm. So the Berserk animation cancel will be in that video, because we cannot do that with aim and throw. You need to have a blocking itself, just block. Fast forward again. Oh boy, blocked Fang. And boss time soon, DM. We fast forward a little bit. The two sets you get from Catacombs are, one of them is pretty good. The Elemental Charge, I think, is pretty good. You can get a chest piece with special infix, but I don't remember what it did. Anyways, get that little boss action here. Holy, we got actually destroyed in this one. We fast forward. This spell, we never saw this as a skill on the boss right there. I don't know what happened, dude. Don't know what happened there, but yeah. Big hits right here. Holy. Infected Throw does so much damage. It's insane, dude. It is actually insane. Also show you the best perks in PvE, in my opinion, which are also good for PvP. But yeah, the rune here, I want to go with the new one. I want to go with the new Blade one, Blade rune. That one seems pretty solid for damage. I do have one, but I have a bad one. I have a bad, yeah. Bad affix. Snorok Ice Fist. This one is pretty easy, I would say, this boss. Once you learn his charge, have to avoid his charge, it's pretty easy. But yeah, kind of shame I didn't have Keenland powered here. That would be pretty crazy, I think. Also, we get so much reduced duration. We have so much cooldown reduction with each throw with Hatchet. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Extraction here. But yeah, I'll take you to the game. We gotta talk about some stuff, and I will show you rotation and all that good jazz as well. So first things first, I'm gonna talk about the attributes. So this all depends on what food you're using. I am using strength food, which brings me to over 260 strength, I believe. I use this one 44, still from my last season, so about 250 of each, because Hatchet skills with B grade, B tier, from both strength and dexterity. That means you want to have both stats equal for the maximum outcome, maximum damage you can do. Great Dex, Great Dex here is scaling from strength, SS, and intelligence, but we don't care about intelligence, and it's our utility weapon, the secondary, so nothing, you know, too needed. So 50 con, this is kind of, I would say, needed in Catacombs as a light. If you're medium, you probably can go with 5 con. I might try 5 con, we'll see. Like, with the aggro, I think if I run with the tank, or my boy Fame, if he has threat generation earring, then it's no problem. So 250 about of each. These ones are not that great. This is pretty good. The 10% crit chance while empowered is pretty good. But let's talk about the Weapon Mastery now. Hatchet here on every third hit is a guaranteed crit, so I don't think we need to stack crit chance that much. And itself, it already has 10% crit chance by this passive, and Hatchet itself has 8% crit chance as a base, so it's 18% just by them like that, which is pretty good. Running Throw, the classic, we want to look for this bad boy. This will deal additional 20% base damage. So this will be 130% weapon damage skill on a very short cooldown, amazing damage ability. And if you have even more cooldown reduction here, if you have a debuff on a target, which we have non-stop, right? I've keenly jacked on the Hatchet here, which is a debuff. We have a debuff from the Hatchet itself, from the Rent. And we have another debuff from Infected Throw. This one has 150% weapon damage, inflicts disease and weaken. It is really good. It's also AoE. I think this will slap in PvP. For PvP though, I will probably make a separate build video, because you would need a specific weapon charm for this skill, which reduces the stamina regeneration, and that is absolutely insane for PvP. Now some more duration if you're below 50% HP. But here, just 1 point for the damage increase, 20%. I might drop this and go for distancing throw. Social distancing, this is pretty good damage as well, but with the perk, with this bad boy active, you deal more base damage, so I might try it out. But Berserk right now is very good. Another passives we go for is the abilities deal more damage below targets, 30% life, extra light attacks, damage, and power, reduce cooldown, which doesn't really do much. Against all odds, pretty good as well if you're within 5 meters, which goes against this passive right here, the further you are, up to 20 meters, you deal more damage. So on bosses, I utilize this, but if you're like if you go in with the Graph Well from Great Axe and Maelstrom, this goes pretty hard, you know, but you swap to Hatchet. And our great passive is here, Refreshing Throws, more cooldown reduction, which is insane. We get more damage here, 10% with debuff active on the target. And of course, we go for this ultimate, which gives us a pretty good damage, up to 4%, up to 4 debuffs, I mean, which is 16%, and that's very good. And also the extended durations of the debuffs. So this is a perfect setup. I'm a big fan of this throwing setup. Great Axe, full utility. So we got Maelstrom. Maelstrom is a weapon perk here as well, which applies a weaken, which means it reduces the damage of the mobs by 25%, and that is absolutely amazing. It's got 8 seconds duration, this cooldown is 15 seconds, or 16 seconds, rounds up, so you will have to wait. But we also got a gravity bell to group mobs together. Your allies will get 45, so if you have melee boys in the group, that's even better for them. We get some extra empower if you have enemies around you, and then also the armor, so you don't get deleted if you close in with the Maelstrom and the Grab Well. So we get some empower tags here as well from the Grab Well, and empowers the Maelstrom. Reap here, if you have some, you know, Strander in the back, just pull him back or pull him in, but Reap, some good stuff. I don't like this second attack because it's a pretty long animation, it locks you in animation, you can eat some attacks, I don't like that too much. And then we focus on some crit damage and crit chance because they increase the crit damage for the base weapon of Great Axe is a very good 1.35. I believe it was 125 before, so that helps a lot. You get some extra healable or extra crit chance as well, and extra armor penetration. A great gem I would want to add here is actually the turquoise, whatever it's pronounced, in the Great Axe, which ignores armor penetration instead of diamond. Rarely here, but it's still pretty good. It's still 15% damage when full health. In PvE, it's mostly full health, so yeah. Let's talk about the gear now. So, Incinerating Hatchet. This bad boy does have Empowered Running Throw. As you can see here, ranged attacks will deal 40% more damage against running throw targets, which is insane. The damage is nuts. Since we do a lot of crits, we have Killing Jack for more damage. There's also a perk on the ring which says if you hit a target with the dot, you will get a crit chance increase. I don't have that, but this would help with it a lot. So yeah, at 3 stacks, you will trigger Explosion, which is 100% weapon damage. It says weapon damage, which should be slash, but it is fire damage, so it's just elemental. So elemental band ring could be pretty good too, but the one is very pain to upgrade. Now, 2 perks don't make much sense. Multiple aggression doesn't. I mean, you can have that on the gear. I believe I have it somewhere on the gear. I actually don't. So that's kind of common. Like mortal aggression is pretty good. 1 perk, but I don't like it on weapon. Disdain Infliction. This makes no sense on this weapon. It increased potency over dots, but this weapon doesn't do any dots, so it's kind of weird. Now, this perk is dead. Like, I don't know, man. In this case, it only improves the Kindle Jack. I don't know what they were thinking here. Or maybe this is bugged and it should do a dot with each stack. I don't know. Anyways, Great Axe here. Looking for Maelstrom as the main thing. Then Sundering Stacks is also very good to apply Rend from Grafwell and Maelstrom, which is a 3 hit, so you should get 3 stacks. And then Attunement is extra damage. It's pretty good as well. It's got a cooldown, but it's still very good. You can also get End is pretty good. I think End is abilities, right? I think. That's pretty good too. Or is basic attacks or other attacks? I'm not sure. But it's pretty good too. Now, if you have double attunement, the dev said they will nerf this perk stacking. So we'll see what they will do with it. For the gear armor, what I think is the best combination is the Prolonged Favor and Shuriken Fortification. This will give you 45 with each dodge, which is 9%, which is a lot. And Favor will increase the duration of this perk. So you can have a long ass 45, which is really good. Another great one, what you go for, actually, let's go for other pieces. So boots, I have the same. On the gloves, you would want the same. Mortal Aggression, there it is. It only stacks once. So this perk is dead for me, the second one. I tried to farm, the new farm, by the way. I might also make a separate video, but there's a massive, massive farm in the Sun Tower right here next to the Carnival settlement. You can farm basically this gear. All this is farmed from there, besides the charms. So I didn't get the gloves. I was unlucky. Headpiece, I dropped this as it was like this, except the keen empowered. But this is very good too. So sacrificial empowerment and shuriken fortification. This could also be this. The base damage increase, but a decrease of armor is very good. So you could probably, this could probably potentially be absolute base. But I like the prolonged favor. So a mix of both could be good. So if I can get the gloves with the sacrificial, would be great. Chest piece, artifact, nimble coat, cooldown reduction by 8%. You want to look for this. This is a very good piece. We got vital synergy, which is also amazing passive. And then Lifestealer's Drought, also stacks ones, but also very important for the lifesteal. You can tank anything if you go solo in the open world, or, you know, even Catacombs solo. I will try to make a setup as well for that. But lifesteal for that is really amazing. And for the charms and everything, for offensive ones, you want to get Slash Harnessing. Beware, this counts into Empowered Cap, I believe, so it's 50%, so beware of that. Enchanted Ward for defense is very, these two like the best ones you can get. I'm running some Onyx gems as well. Other things you can have also, which was already in here, is the Enchanted, which applies to aim and throw, not our ability, so it's not that great, but you sometimes finish mobs off with light attack as well, so that's not too bad. Keenly Empowered, a must-have. Easy Empower on critical chance. We have crit on every third hit within 5 seconds. We always get that or get the cooldown. So Keenly Empowered, a must-have. Editor, a must-have is a Keenly Fortified right here on the amulet. This one is all giving you a lot of Fortify on crit. Very good stuff. And then another one is the Keenly Jag. All these three are mandatory, I think. I would say it's very good. They're pretty expensive to buy or even craft. You need to get some proficiency up. So this was the gear on the jewelry. These triple protection amulets might be meta, but they might be also nerfed. We'll see what devs will do with it. Now I have Purifying Toast to lose a debuff when using a potion. But as a defense, you can go for anything really. I need to look into this drop like this, so I need to look into what else is there. But triple protection is good. I have some old amulets from last seasons with the Divine or the Empower, Shuriken Empower, I believe it's called. It's pretty good as well. On the ring here, this is not the best, but there is an infix I dropped from a chest run. While exhausted, you gain uninterruptible. This is part of the second wind set, but this you don't need any set piece to trigger this. This is nothing that great, but I mean it helps. It helps. If you have no stamina, if you're all the way, then it's not bad. That's not bad. Skilled Enchantment, another great charm. Your abilities deal damage. Probably would be the best. If I have more perks like this, I'll try to get them. Enchanted Ward, again, get 5 of them. This is very good for PvE, surviving, even PvP. Slash damage, great stuff, because we're all about slash damage. Now, this one is literally not what we want. This is not what we want. This is reducing the ability damage, which is really bad by 5%. So I need to get a new ring. Basically trolling myself here. For self-sustain, you can use the artifact Blood Trinker ring. This is great. That's a great one for lifesteal, but you will deal less damage by 15% with the disease on the target, which we have. And on the earring, the most important is refreshment. This is actually stronger than the nimble coat by 2%. That's just insane. And a great one is Empowering Toast for Empower, and then Fortifying to tank a bit more as well. So these are great perks. And a great one is Healing Heart. Amazing one, probably the best with the refreshment, because on heart rune use, you will get healed. So that's very important. Now the rune setup, this one is great, but not the brutal one version. You want to get the other one that's in the middle. Basically, the other two are great. This one makes your blades whirl around you, but it's reduced damage by 70%, or to 70%, so by 30%. So nothing that great, especially if you're ranged, and this is a melee rune. So you want to get the other rune, that's very good. I recommend that. You can also get the Vine rune, which I have right here, but the Rending and Enfeebling Vines, very good one as well. And another great one is the Stone Form. I do have this one. I recommend Stalwart. I have Cunning, but I think Stalwart is better. Do I have it somewhere? Yep, this one right here. This is the rune that heals you, and also it gives you 45. But your damage is reduced, but it's no problem. So this is very good. Rotation, very simple. You want to pop Berserk, you want to go Running Throw, you want to aim a throw, Infected Throw, just go like this. Proc the explosion, Running Throw again, you know, aim at throws until cooldowns are back up, like this again, and just keep your hatchets like that, just blasting. Duration of this Berserk is getting increased as well with each attack, so that's good. And for the Great Axe, if you want to close in when there is a big pool, whatever, you start with a Graph Well, Integral Dodge, and Maelstrom. And that dodge away, and then start blasting with, you know, Berserk and just throwables. And right now we have mutations with Nature, which means they heal. So this Infected Throw is a must-have there. It's amazing stuff. For Consumables, I think that's the last thing. You obviously want to get Whetstone for the, or Honing Stone for damage increase. You want to get the, there is also coatings, depends on what dungeon or whatever you are doing with content. So coatings for more damage. Then we want to use the Desert Sunrise to reduce duration of the dots. Also important in PvP. And then attribute, I like to use strength because that's what I have the most also in my storage. But this depends on your own food what you have. Then if you have constitution, you want to get 6 points in constitution because you will get 44 from the buff food and put rest in the strength and dexterity. So yeah, I believe that was about it. You can also use some board potions here. Humans, corruption, whatever you want to be tankier if you're doing some of that stuff. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. G's and gens. And of course, you want to be light because this gives you the most damage by 15% damage extra. And they changed the stamina dodge cost to 45 for medium and light. For PvP, I would use medium though, but that's a different topic, different story. And with that said, thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate you all. I stream every day on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube, and TikTok as well. I'm literally everywhere, so there are my names on the platforms. If you would stop by, I would greatly appreciate it. But until next time, you guys have a great one, and peace.